It Takes Two to Go to War, The Metaphysics of Two, The Twilight Zone, Season 3, Episode 1. This is a jungle, a monument built by nature honoring disuse. But it's another kind of jungle, the kind that grows in the aftermath of man's battles against himself. That opening line isn't about a city, it's about the mind. The overgrown streets, the silence, the skeletons, they're the overgrowth of guilt. This is what happens when the mind leaves love untended. Nature reclaims what fear built because projection always decays. In this world of ruins, a woman in a tattered uniform stumbles into the silence. Soon a man appears, another uniform, another side. No language in common. No country left to fight for. Only the reflex to attack. That's how the ego greets peace, with suspicion. She throws whatever she can find. He knocks her out, then feeds himself. It's the mind attacking its own reflection and calling it survival. But even in his brutality, something cracks. He leaves half the can of chicken for her, half of what he thought he had to keep. The first miracle is always a shared meal. The first sign of forgiveness is always an act that seems small but means everything. Later, he looks at a calendar, a woman in a swimsuit. He looks at her, then back at the image. The mind that once desired flesh now begins to remember spirit. The contrast is the curriculum, illusion beside innocence. When she wakes, he pours water on her face. He declares peace. There are no more boundaries, governments, or noble causes. But she can't hear it. Words fail where perception still projects. He sees a woman. She still sees a threat. This is the Tower of Babel within. One thought speaking of forgiveness, another hearing only fear. Still, love keeps teaching. He walks away instead of fighting. She follows him down an empty street, the walk of rejoined purpose. In a theater, they find a poster for a wartime romance. He smiles at her. Even the dead soldiers by the door can't stop this tiny resurrection. The rifles they pick up are not weapons now. They're props of an old script. He slings his gun over his shoulder, not in readiness but in remembrance. The play is over. The curtain has fallen on conflict. Then they see it, the dress in the shattered display window. The woman says "Prekrasny." Beautiful. He tells her to put it on. The egoic uniforms of defense start to dissolve. But just as she's about to change, she sees the recruiting poster on the wall. A propaganda image shouting, "The enemy meets our troops." That's what the ego does. It recruits through memory. She fires at him again. He doesn't fire back. He simply walks away. That's the moment of holy reversal, the end of attack in the mind that finally sees there's no target. By morning, he's removed his uniform. He wears a tuxedo without a shirt, a symbol of ceremony without armor. She appears in the dress. The polarity collapses. Soldier and enemy become man and woman, masculine and feminine, will and willingness. They are Adam and Eve remade in forgiveness, not exile. He shouts, "Take your war to more suitable companions." But there are none. Because war has no companion but itself. It takes two to go to war, and only one to be at peace. When he sees her step out into the light wearing that dress, he tosses her a jar of peaches. The peaches are symbolic fruit, sweetness after bitterness. Once it was a can of chicken divided by necessity. Now it's fruit shared by choice. That's the progression of healing, from survival to offering. They walk together through the ruins, weapons still slung but meaningless now. The city is still dead, but the mind that built it is beginning to live again. Forgiveness doesn't always remove the ruins, it redeems what they meant. This has been a love story, the closing narration says, about two lonely people who found each other in the Twilight Zone. But the love isn't romantic. It's metaphysical. It's the rejoining of the split mind that thought it could win by dividing. A Course in Miracles says, "Perception is a mirror, not a fact. What I look on is my state of mind reflected outward." They weren't walking through a city. They were walking through their own consciousness. Every burned wall, every skeleton, every silence was a thought, a defense that outlived its purpose. The Twilight Zone here is the space between fear and love, that quiet middle where the mind decides again. The ruins remain, but their meaning has shifted. It's not a wasteland anymore. It's a classroom. War was never between nations. It was between belief and truth. And truth has no opponent. Somewhere in the ruins of the mind, two lonely survivors lay down their weapons and discover there was never an enemy at all. Perhaps the true battlefield was never a place but a thought. And peace was only waiting for one of them to stop fighting.